Bamboo is one of the most versatile blocks in Minecraft, and today, I'll be attempting to farm 1 million pieces of bamboo. Leave a like, maybe subscribe, and let's get into this. Alright, day 1 of this project, and the amount of bamboo I'm starting off with is, 0. How have I not gotten bamboo in this world yet? Better time than any to go on a little bamboo finding adventure, but thanks to the help of Chunkbase, this adventure should be relatively easy, and only about 2 minutes of flying later, and we made it. Which means time to gather some bamboo. Yeah, I think this will be enough to get me started. Some people might be wondering why I'm not just gonna chop down this entire bamboo forest, and there's really 2 reasons for that. 1, that's just way too easy, and 2, because I have everything I need to get myself a whole bunch of bamboo at home. Mainly thanks to this skeleton spawner I happened to fix up a little while ago. So if we start placing this down, and bone meal one of them for a little bit, drop it down, and look at that, we're already making some stonks. Only 999,988 to go. And so I continued this method of placing down more bamboo, bone mealing it, chopping it down over and over again for a while. And there we go, first shulker box filled up. But while gathering all this bamboo, I've done a little bit of math. Very scary, I know. To get 1 million pieces of bamboo, I'm gonna have to get 10 double chests completely filled up with shulker boxes, which are completely filled up with bamboo. The shulker shells, no problem at all, I have plenty of those, but it's just mainly the wood I'm lacking in having. But to try changing that, let's get all the wood we need for the chest for the shulker boxes. This definitely isn't going to be enough wood for the entire project, but I should be set for chests for at least a little while, and I guess since we have all this wood, we might as well turn it into chests right now. You know, come to think of it, this might actually be enough chests for 1 million bamboo, but we'll figure that out as we go along. For now though, back to the good old-fashioned manual farming, and I kept farming the manual way for a few days until at the end of the week I ended up with 6 shulker boxes full of bamboo. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that if I keep going at this pace, it's gonna take me several months to get this done. But I'm still willing to give the manual farm a chance, so let's maybe expand it a little bit and give it another week. And that's exactly what I did, and the more and more I went on, the more I realized the fact that if I want to get this 1 million bamboo, I'm gonna have to have more than just one singular way I'm farming it. Okay, about 2 weeks into my manual bamboo farming, and so far we have 13 separate shulker boxes filled up with bamboo. Or in bamboo terms, that's 22,464 bamboo. But to be honest, it's probably going to take me well over a year to get me 1 million pieces of bamboo, at least at the pace I'm going. So I guess it's a better time than any to start making some automatic farms. And I remember there was one that Silent Whisper made a while ago that's actually really small, but super efficient. So let's maybe gather some resources and build this thing up. Alright, a little bit of building later, and this thing is completely and totally built up. Oh, and also after I finished building this, I left my PC for a second, and a creeper almost killed me, but then a zombie came by to finish the job. Totally my fault, but still. I modified Silent Whisper's design slightly, so instead of having just one side of pistons, I have 2. Which A, if this thing works completely efficiently around the clock, I could get probably 150,000 bamboo an hour. But B, that's gonna be a whole lot harder because to have this thing running at max efficiency, it needs to be completely and totally and constantly filled up with bone meal. And these are all the bones I have left from the skeleton farm. But oh well, this is at least a chance to give this thing a test. So if we throw the bone meal in here, then that thing goes off, hopefully distributing the bone meal equally. Wait a minute, I forgot to put the bamboo in. I had a feeling I was forgetting something. But okay, all the bone meal's in place, let's give this thing a test. And if we flick this lever, then we should see, yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot of bamboo. And even with only 5 bone meal in each dispenser, this looks like this is like a crazy serious amount of bamboo. Yep, and what is that? Like almost 7-8 stacks of bamboo just from a few bits of bone meal? This farm is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But before we could actually properly use that farm, we're gonna need the bones. And after a day of murdering skeletons over and over again, we have quite a decent number of bones. And I could have gotten way more, but ugh, am I so bored of killing skeletons at this farm. So let's load up the farm, and then watch the magic happen. And after about 13 minutes of this thing running, how did we actually manage to do? Okay, okay. We did pretty well. We did really well. And again, for only about 13 minutes of this thing running, we got probably 4 or 5 double chests completely filled up with the bamboo. So let's move these over into some shulker boxes and maybe do a quick harvest of the manual bamboo farm. And now we are currently sitting at 28 separate shulker boxes filled up with bamboo. Or in bamboo terms, that's 48,384 bamboo, which means definitely using the auto and manual bamboo farms together is what's going to get us the million bamboo. But now time to get more bone meal to fill this back up. Please don't send me back down to the skeleton farm, please. It's so boring down there. And you know what? We won't. Because instead, let's make a bone meal farm. And yes, I could steal another very efficient farm from other YouTubers. Or instead, just build a really big cactus farm. Yeah, let's go with the dumb option. And building up a cactus farm that was actually efficient enough meant that it had to be extremely big, which meant this took well over a few days to build up. But even though it was the dumber option, it still ended up with something that looks pretty cool and is actually pretty efficient. It's not completely constant, but it's really, really close. And just to prove it to you, let's just look at this one dispenser over here and okay, every single one of those dispensers has been filled up about the same. Also, in my few days of building this up, I've been trying to not sleep to kill more skeletons and also actually go fishing, because for some reason or another, salmon drop an insane amount of bones. There we go. See, I killed one and I got 6 bones from that one fish. I thank the chunkier salmon for helping me out with this one, because now these are all the bones I actually managed to gather while building out the cactus farm. So let's turn this thing on and let it run while I AFK for an hour. Okay, now how did we actually do? Short answer is, pretty well. Really, really, really well. So let's get all these boxed up, and at the end of it all, we've now ended up with 70 shulker boxes, or just over 120,000 bamboo. So letting the bone meal build up for a few days does definitely work, but still, it'd be a bit boring just waiting there. So how about at the same time we go back to our roots and build a manual bamboo farm? A really, really big manual bamboo farm. But how big, you may ask? Yeah, that big. So big that I think by the time we clear out one end, the other end's gonna completely grow up again. And literally, just from a few passes, we've already filled up 3 more shulker boxes. This million bamboo will be gotten in no time. And so for the rest of the week, we went back and forth between farming at the manual bamboo farm and just leaving the automatic bamboo farm on. And boy, has this week seriously been paying off. Because now, we've collected just under 300,000 bamboo. But while farming through this huge thing, I've noticed quite a big flaw, because if I just do one quick pass through it, look at those frames, look at how bad these frames are. And don't get me started on how bad it gets when I do a few passes through. So I think for me personally, when this entire challenge is over, I might scale it down or possibly even completely get rid of this bamboo field. And in between manually farming bamboo, I've been coming down here to farm the sugarcane so it can go in the composters, and that got me thinking, why not go manually farm more things to compost? Such as kelp, pumpkins, wheat, carrots, and potatoes. Probably not going to get much more bone meal from this, but I guess there's no way of knowing for sure until we actually figure it out. Alright, now let's get all this composted. A stack of bone meal, that's actually not too bad. But I guess only time will tell whether or not this is actually worth building up. A little over a week later, yes, it was really worth building this whole thing up. Because from this farm, from the bamboo field, from the skeleton farm, we now have just under 6 full double chests completely filled up with bamboo. Which I don't know the math yet, but that's gotta be at least halfway there. Also, I was reviewing the clip about the lag caused from the bamboo fields, and to be honest, that clip wasn't that laggy. But I am determined to prove those statements. Okay, now that I've done a few passes through it, and if I just fly with this firework, there's the lag I was talking about. There is the absolute jitteriness of the frames. But again, in the short term, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. The next few weeks of this project was pretty much doing the exact same process we've already seen. Every day, I'd spend at least a couple hours farming bamboo from the many methods I've set up. Alright, now that's chest number 7 filled up. But as this challenge kept going on, it became harder and harder to add new twists on farming, or even different ways to commentate on it. Okay, I just literally push record and I have no idea what I'm supposed to say now. Probably the effect of doing this project for about 2 months at this point. It wasn't quite burnout on farming bamboo, but more from a perspective of not doing anything different for quite a long time. But before I even had the opportunity to begin burning out, I came to a realization. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've done the math for how much bamboo we have so far, and I just found out that we are just over 100,000 bamboo to go until we reach 1 million. And this probably won't happen necessarily, but I'm gonna try and get that complete 100,000 bamboo in just one day. Right now, as I'm filming this bit, it's currently 8:21 in the morning, so let's see if we can actually get this done. Right, and now that's 12 more shulker boxes filled up, and to get a million I need to fully fill up the rest of this chest, as well as this chest minus 15 slots. Also, I've been going at this for about 6 hours at this point now, and typically I only do about 3 hours at most in a day. Mending my sword with this super slow skeleton farm certainly isn't helping, but I'm still gonna truck on, I'm still gonna try and get this done today. So even though I had this determined attitude of getting this challenge done that day, I unfortunately didn't make that happen. But the next day, I was really close. 13 shulker boxes. That's literally all we need to complete this project. Assuming I did my math right. Which, considering it's me, you never know. That would be embarrassing if it wasn't right. But let's just assume that it is, and get this thing done. Now, is this the most efficient way I could have gone about getting a million bamboo? No, absolutely not. But do I regret doing it the way I did it? No, not really. I don't know, something about manually getting your hands dirty with farming, it's just really satisfying for me. Even if this took way longer than expected. But at the end of the day, we still made it. Over 1 million pieces of bamboo, fully and completely collected in survival. And since we have a little bit of spare bone meal, even though I'm pretty sure nearly 11 double chests of shulker boxes is equivalent to 1 million bamboo, now I have just a little bit extra just in case. So now that I've collected over 1 million pieces of bamboo, what do I do with it?